What's up world, what's up internet? I'm Deanna Jean Pierce and this is my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And the way I speak about men and women in this video may come across as sexist, stereotypical, or old-fashioned, but I really want to speak to this. It's a really important topic for the church, for the planet, for society. I am currently having a massive crisis because every time I go to enter the normal working world and get a job, I feel sick to my stomach, I burn out, I get sick, I get depressed, I am miserable. And what we're really coming down to is that this is my opinion. The divine feminine needs to be protected in the home. That doesn't mean they can't leave the house. That doesn't mean they can't have careers. But the world needs to change to support a way in which the divine feminine can lead, but do it in a way that actually works for them. Women are cyclical beings. They're in touch with moon phases. They're in touch with nature. They have monthly menstrual cycles that they need to be attuned to. At my last job, where I was working 40 hours a week at a call center, I lost my period for half a year. For the entire time I had that job, I lost my period. I didn't have a period, a monthly period. And I can feel consciousness saying, ew, don't talk about this, keep that to yourself. No, we need to talk about these things. We need to talk about the things that no one wants to talk about. That's the kind of person I am. That's the kind of healer I am. That's the kind of revolutionary I am. I lost my monthly period for the entire duration that I worked my last job. I was suicidal. I couldn't think straight. I felt literally like I wanted to die. That's not drama, friends. The normal working world is super toxic to sensitive light workers, to people with autism. Paris Hilton is infamous for talking about this. Paris Hilton, literally, one of the things that I knew her for growing up was she had that TV show, The Simple Life with Nicole Richie, remember? And she's like, we can't go to work today, we're tired. And Paris Hilton is infamous for kind of highlighting how bad it feels to work in normal jobs, minimum wage jobs, or even non-minimum wage jobs. But so I share this anecdote about losing my period because I want to help the world change and be a better place for women. Okay, we're still living in the patriarchy. I lost my monthly period for the entire time that I worked my last job. And I only got my period back after leaving that job and resting for a couple of months. Now, I'm going to stop you right there. Can a woman do anything she wants? Yes, women can be astronauts, professors, the President of the United States. Women can be lawyers. Women can literally do or be or have anything. But women are also designed differently and wired differently. There's no getting around it. What we know from Jeff and Shalia's teachings and the teachings of Union and the Church of Union is that As Jeff put it, the divine feminine is the inner squishy, and the divine masculine is the hard outer shell. And so when we talk about first point of contact, you really should be talking to the husband first to get to the woman. Unless the woman like has relationships and they're talking to their friends and their soul family and I'm not saying women can't have relationships. That's not it. But there's a reason that there's the masculine and the feminine. There's a reason there's the different aspects, both equally of God and representative of God. But women need to be protected. Men need to be protected too, but it's just in a different way. I was talking to one of my friends today, and she, she's like, she always knew she wanted to be like a homemaker and a mother. And when I was at my last call center job and I was on the phones and I was like, I was having to repeat the same things over and over and over and over. One of the things I had to say on the phone was, are there any other homeowners or decision makers that I should be aware of? And I kept accidentally saying, are there any other homemakers? Okay. I am not being sexist right now. Paris Hilton works, okay? She has an empire. All women work, but it's in the feminine way. Divine masculines and divine feminines work differently. They work differently. They operate differently. They relate to reality differently. Okay? Men and women are equal, completely equal, but they're different, unique. Most women I talk to have a passion for the home, for nurturing relationships. Now, don't get me wrong. Women lead. Women can run a business. I want there to be a female president of the United States. It's necessary. But she would need to be supported and protected so that she could run the office. I notice that men and women handle things differently. They encounter things differently. What's really overwhelming for a woman is not overwhelming for a man. And vice versa. I was thinking about this today, or recently. I've been thinking about this a lot recently. Women are kind of expected to do everything that a man can do, but also do only the things that women can. I know I sound like the Barbie movie right now, but it's true. Men can't carry a baby. Men can't give birth to a child. They don't ever have to go through that. They don't have monthly cycles, at least not menstrual cycles. But yet, women are expected to do everything a man can do, but also do only the things that women can, which is like carrying a child, giving birth to a child. But men aren't expected to do that. what I'm saying is that I want the planet to come into a deeper understanding. Because another thing, for instance, when I was at my call center job, me and one of the other women in the office, we would get really exhausted after a lot of calls, and we would cry. We would cry, we would feel emotional, we would need a break. Whereas the men in the office just kind of seemed to be able to keep taking endless phone calls and having endless conversations, and like they never really impacted them. This is for a reason.